Doug, take it away.
Thank you very much. Well, anyways, great to see all of you here today. So thank you for being an audience, and thank you for Ray. But I have a question for you. So, how many of you have ever been to Amsterdam, New York? I haven't been to Amsterdam, New York, but I have been to Amsterdam, Holland, which is a pretty charming town, I must say. I mean, they've got the canals and the tulips and the wooden shoes and the whole bit, right? So here I was being a tourist, traveling through Amsterdam, and I happened upon a fellow, I think his name was Tommy, and he asked me if I'd seen a policeman. I said, no. He said, in that case, stick him up. Yeah, exactly. And the first thing he took was my watch. Oh. That really pissed me off. That was my GED graduation present. But he didn't stop there. He noticed my ring, and I guess he had a thing for jewelry, because that was the next thing he took was my ring. But then he got pretty smart. He had me take out my wallet, and then he took all my cash. But he let me keep the wallet. That was a pretty good thing, because that saved me from making another trip to TJ Maxx. Oh. But he was actually a pretty clever magician, because in addition to having a gun, what he also had was a stamped self-addressed envelope. Yeah. Into which, there we go, into which he put the money and the ring and the watch. He put everything in there, sealed it up, dropped it into a post office box, and was done. And I thought, now that's pretty smart. I mean, think of it. Now there's no evidence left on him, right? So if a police person were to stop him, what are they going to find? Nothing, right? All the evidence is gone. So you know what? I have to give this guy credit for being clever in his way. But you know what? He didn't realize he was holding up a magician. Because when the letter got to his house, what he discovered was, in fact, there was no watch, there was no ring, there was no money, there was, in fact, nothing. Everything was gone. That's because I still have my ring, and I still have my watch, and I still have my money. You like that? Yeah. All right. Now you had some wine, right? You know, the more you drink, the better the magic looks. So I always encourage that. And you might be wondering, now, what the heck does magic have to do with Ray or retirement? In fact, it is very much what Ray got into, was that this is, in fact, my passion. I had a, we'll say, prior career, and I had a plan with Ray. And by working a plan, I was able to pursue my passion, which is magic, as my next career. So I thank you to Ray for helping me move on to my next passion. That's a part of it. What is your name, by the way?
Steve.
Good memory. Steve?
I was just kidding. It's Ray.
All right. You can call me Steve. You can call me Ray. But we'll go with Steve for right now.
I must advise you, I don't see very well. So.
Oh, all right. Well, then.
So that'll make it easy for you.
Well, no. Well, I tell you what. We'll work with this gentleman here. That's, you made. Oh, another Steve? We've got multiple Steves. Okay, maybe we should have a survey of Steves in this room right now. What is your name, by the way?
Steve.
Rick, of course. Yeah, Rick. Rick, do me a favor and pull out one of those cigarette papers.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, you've done this before. Oh, okay. Well, medicinal purposes, right? I mean, you know, you had that bout of glaucoma or something like that, right? Yeah, I think it was that. Yeah. Well, check it out. Look it over. Try to find any trapdoors, mirrors, smoke, bunny rabbits, elephants.
There's a naked woman here.
Oh. How much wine did you have?
You said to drink wine.
Yeah, okay. He took me up on that offer, didn't he? But I tell you what, Rick, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a terrible trick. It is truly a terrible trick. See, what I do is I take this piece of paper and I tear it like that. Of course, it's as terrible as the puns that go with the trick, right? So that we tear it this way, we tear it this way, and again this way. Now at this point, a lot of people ask the question, so Doug, why are you doing this? I'm so glad you asked the question. Steve came to my rescue. Look at that. You see, this way I can make a dozen joints. I mean, cigarettes out of one piece of paper, but they're a little too small to use, unless, of course, you want a short smoke, right? Then I'll watch this carefully. You're watching me like a hawk. See that? See, I'm going to roll it and roll it some more. That's why it's called rolling paper. Did you know that? You get an education with this. It isn't just a magic show. You learn some things too, right, Rick? You know, you're learning as you get entertained. But you've been watching me gosh, any closer? I think you're in the act if you're any closer to this. You know, I tell you what, do me a favor and just blow in that little piece of paper. Just blow in that. Just blow in it. Ooh, look at that. He cast his breath on the little piece of paper, and by doing that, let me just check this little guy out here. You know what? I just think something might have just transformed here.
Oh.
Yeah. Look at that.
Wow. Look what your breath did.
Explain that to the officer as you leave here tonight. Yes, look what my breath did. But yes, indeed, you got a souvenir. That is your souvenir. Just remember that the party's at your place. Sharing is caring, as they always say, right? Now, one thing I did share with some other people, speaking of sharing, is that I actually have a chance to pursue not one, but multiple passions, which is great. When you're retired on your terms, you can do lots of things, right? I have the magic thing, of course, and I also work a couple days a week at a wine shop, of all things, Doc's Wine Shop in Hayward, which is at Foothill and B. And I was able to persuade the proprietor, Darren Guillaume, to actually do a combination of wine plus magic. So just putting it out there, we do this, it won't be this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday on November 12th is the next one. We have 2 tickets left. It's a very intimate show. It's for a maximum of 6 people, and Ray and Kathy were my audience one time, so they can vouch for the fun. I think that's why I'm here, because they had fun. It's like an extension of the fun right now. But yeah, it's a great deal. $15, doesn't even cover materials. I mean, come on, you get 3 wines plus a magic show. What's not to like, right? So indeed, please come see the show. It's virtually, not every, but virtually every Saturday at Doc's Wine Shop in Hayward at Foothill and B. Now, what is your name, by the way? Faye. Faye? Faye. Did you lose any money? I found some $1 bills laying in the parking lot. Did you lose any cash?
I lost hundreds.
Oh, but you didn't lose any $1 bills. No, look at this. She's an honest person. I like the honesty. Not everybody's honest as Faye, but indeed we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 $1 bills that were somehow left in the parking lot, but they're not yours. You know, very honest. I appreciate your honesty. But Faye, you know what I find very interesting? Is all I have to do is alter this just a little bit, and just say add 2 zeros, and when it becomes not 5 ones, but 1, 2, 3. So see how the answer changes just by adding 2 zeros? It's just amazing. I guess this is part of working with Ray. I get to throw my money from ones to hundreds. You can thank Elaine for that idea, by the way. So yeah, but anyways, yeah. No, what you're watching, Faye, is a magic show. You know it's a magic show, don't you? Yes, it is a magic show. And what you're witnessing is really an illusion. You know that, right? It really is an illusion. Yeah, it's an illusion because all I have to do is snap my fingers and it goes back to where it was just a moment ago. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just $1 bills. Really, that's the reality of it. It is not $100 bills. Yeah. Time to go back to the bar now, right? There you go. But I tell you what, let's do this.
Got to retire early.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of the magic of retirement. The magic of retirement. We're on video. My good friend Ross Meehan is capturing the magic of retirement, which is going to go in Thrivent magazine, right? Absolutely. And by the way, a big shout out to Ross Meehan back there. He's been my photographer, videographer for many years on many projects, magic and otherwise. If you need videography, photography work, he has all the skills, the knowledge. He worked on Best of the Bay years ago. He actually has a full-time gig with Workday, a little company a little east of here. So he has a lot of knowledge and skills and all the goodies, as you see right there. So we'll do that. But I'll tell you what, could I get your help on something? I'm sorry, it is in Jan. Why do we? Okay, it was too long ago. It's at least 20 minutes ago. Jan, you saw the big money. We're going to work with the little money now, because I have little money in addition to big money. Indeed, I do. I've got half dollars. I don't know if you've seen half dollars before. It's been a while. You know, you don't see these things too often nowadays, unless you go to casinos, right? You don't see half dollars. But Jan, will you do me a favor and put your hands out like this? Because magic is going to happen in your hands. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, too good to believe, but in fact, that's what's going to happen. Because I have how many coins? How many coins do I have, Jan?
4.
4. She's paying attention. I like that. You've not been to the bar too many times. I like that.
I have not.
She's totally cognizant of what's going on.
Watching every move you
She's
make.
watching me like a hawk. I can't get a thing past Jan. How many coins do you have?
0.
Good. She's with it. I like it. I love it. But you're going to feel something. You feel this? Did you feel it?
Yes.
See, because you have 1.
1 coin.
See, yeah, exactly. She's on it. And I have 3. See, I have 3 and you have 1.
Right.
Yeah. It gets better. Yeah. Because watch. See, we've got 1, 2, 3 over here. So I've got 3 and you've got 1, right?
Right.
But now listen. Did you hear it?
Yes, I heard it.
So you have 2 and I have 2. See, that's how this works. Now you're getting curious, aren't you?
That's pretty tricky.
It is pretty tricky. So I've got 2, you've got 2, right?
Right.
Watch carefully. If I go like this and go like this, how many are over here?
4.
Good guess, but wrong. 2 there, 2 there. I didn't cheat yet.
I was trying.
You were. Am I ready?
Yeah.
Do you hear it?
Oh.
Oops, you dropped one. I'll let you. There you go.
3.
So now you got 3,
Right.
and I have 1. Now, Jan, because I trust you, as I trust Ray, I put all my money in your hands. How does that sound? Metaphors.
Okay.
But here we go. All my money's in your hands, right?
Right.
And here's what we'll do. We're going to do this. I'll take 1, close that up, turn it around, make sure I can't get in there, right?
Right.
So make sure I cannot get that coin in your hand.
Okay.
You're with me, right, Jan?
Right.
All right, because here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take this. Now, do you feel that?
Yep.
It's gone. Turn your hand up, open it, and now you've got all 4 coins. See that?
Had 4, didn't I?
You
Did I
both-
have 4?
No, you had 3. Come on.
Oh, she forgot.
Well, anyways,
That was good. That was good.
there you go. There you go. Now let's do this. Why not have a little bit of fun with Kathy? Where's Kathy? Did she run away? There's Kathy. Let's have Kathy. Come on up here. Kathy, big round for Kathy. I'm not going to saw her in half. Don't worry about that. But Kathy, so here's the thing. Certainly the pandemic has completely disrupted and changed our lives, maybe forever. It's been a huge change in just a short period of time. Who would have thought years ago what we're doing right now? And one of the ways is how we go shopping for food. Now, we live in a progressive state. In California, progressive means we're like the first to do whatever it is, be it bring your shopping bags to the grocery store, right? When you're in Alabama, you still get your paper bags. But here, you bring your shopping bags to the grocery store. And you bring your shopping bag to the grocery store, just like I do, mostly. Yeah, she's a good citizen here. Now, what drives my wife crazy, and this is actually the honest God truth, is I will sometimes go to the grocery store for one item, for one thing I need in the entire ingredient list for whatever it is I'm making. And so that's why I have such a small bag. But it's a nice bag. I mean, it's good material. You can feel the material. It's a nicely made. I go fancy. I'm kind of more upscale, because I try to dress up a little bit when I go to the grocery store. But yeah, indeed, that's my little grocery bag. But you know how we've been talking about how to get things. And by the way, reach inside the bag. Reach inside the bag. What do you feel?
Nothing.
Actually, you feel the bottom of the bag. Otherwise, your hand will just keep going and going and going, right? But go ahead and reach inside again and grab the bottom of the bag and pull it inside out. And now the inside's out, the outside's in, and so forth, right? So here we are in this pandemic doing things like going to Instacart. Have you used Instacart? Oh, you have used Instacart. I mean, isn't that crazy? I mean, what you do is you get on your phone and you go tap, 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 and then, what, an hour? What does it take typically to get about an hour? And then it appears. It's like magic, isn't it? It's crazy. So here's the thing. I think I've got something even better. Yeah, I think I've got something even better than that because Look inside. There's nothing there, right? There's nothing there.
Nope.
With my idea, which by the way is going IPO at the end of today, so I'm giving you a heads up on this one. It's where you just think. You don't even need a mobile phone. You don't need the internet. You just think of things. You just think of things. Isn't that amazing? For example, Kathy, if you were to make an omelet, what's the first thing you need?
Eggs.
Eggs. There it is. There it is. She's thinking of getting an egg, right? And that's all you need to do is to think of it. You think of it, and Shazam, it shows up in your bag. Wow. That's it. Now you can see the Snow White egg in the bag, right? There it is. Good, good. And what we'll do is this. Just touch there, make sure it's still there. Here's the thing. Now, you know, you've bought things over the internet, be it with apps or just computers or whatever it is, right? What happens if it isn't quite the right thing? You got to go back to the UPS store, the postal service, or something like that. Oh, this one's way better. This one's way better, because what's going to happen is this. You simply take that thing you got and you take it away and you put it back into the metaverse, see? And by doing that, it's gone. That's the quickest return policy of all time. Isn't that great? Just a very quick, you look curious. Somebody's curious. You're doubting, what? No, my arms, look, my arms. Oh, I wouldn't put something under my arm. I wouldn't put it under my arm. No. But no, let's do this. So reach inside the bag. What do you feel?
The bottom of
The bottom of the bag. There, she learned. There you go. So bottom of the bag. Reach inside again. Pull the bottom of the bag inside out. So now the inside's out, the outside's in. Now, have you ever worked with programs like Excel or Word or sort of? Okay. So we live in a high-tech society. We're pretty close to Silicon Valley. People know these things, right? And what happens if you want to undo? Does anybody know what you do with the undo? What do you do? What is it? Control Z. Control Z. Control Alt Delete is another one, or Control Z is another, like, you know, if you do that oops factor when you're doing that spreadsheet. But nothing inside, right? Nothing inside.
Nope.
So we're going to do Control Z. Ready for this? Control Z, because I might undo what we just did, because I might still want to make the omelet. And in fact, I just undid it, and I brought it back. But now we'll do it in slow motion. Kathy, would you just gently make sure it's still there? Gently still there? Okay, now turn your head and cough. Now what we're going to do is we're going to throw it back into the metaverse like this in slow motion. I will slowly throw it into the metaverse, and now it's once again empty. And once again, we have no egg. Would you reach inside? What do you feel? The bottom of the bag. She reaches inside the bottom of the bag. She turns it inside out, and the outside's in. The inside's out. Okay, we're back to where we were just a moment ago. Now, it's time for Kathy to do some magic. Ready for this? Yeah. I mean, nothing inside. But do me a favor. Do it like I am with your, here you go. Excellent. Now, what I want you to do is keep pinching with that hand. Hold with that hand. Okay. With this hand, let go. Hold the bag up high. With your other hand, do Control Z. Control Z. She just did the undo feature. By doing the undo feature, and with a little bit of magic, reach inside, and she finds the egg! She did the egg! Yeah! I don't know, but you did it well. Big hand for Kathy. Yeah. She has the power. She does have the power. But I tell you what, I think it's time for the man of the hour himself, Mr. Ray, to come on over. Let's give Ray a nice big round of applause. All right. Be careful when you ask for a magician.
Give her my wallet over there.
Yeah, it's in safekeeping. It's safekeeping. I need to borrow something from you. Oh, it's on your shoulder over here. It's so hard to see in this dim light, but if I just give a snap, it'll appear much better. It's one of these things. It's a ball. Yeah, exactly, because I have my remote control did it like that. Now, Ray, I have a question for you. If I push this into my hand, see that? He's watching me very closely. He's very observant. Notice that? Do you think I made that disappear?
Not yet.
You're right. It did not disappear. Did not. Do you know why?
No magic, no.
You're onto it, but I didn't do that. See, now it is gone. See, it's gone. And it's not up my sleeve, not up that sleeve.
Not on your shoulder.
It's up your sleeve. Let me see your right sleeve. Let me see this. I think there's something. Hold on, right here. Look. See this? See, it's up his sleeve. What else is up your sleeve, Ray?
I don't know.
Yeah, how did he do that? But I tell you what, if I just drop it on there and just snap, that leaves me one short. But I have a spare in this pocket over here, but leaves me one short again. So I have to take this and make it into two. So now I'm back where I should be with two. Yeah. So there's one for me and one for, well, actually, I like this one better. But hold this one real tight. Hold it real tight. Turn the hand over. Don't let me get in there. Okay, now watch carefully. Nothing up that sleeve, nothing up this sleeve. Look at that. A wave and a snap. Mine disappeared. Did yours disappear?
I don't think so.
Turn your hand over like this and open up. And now he's got both! A big round of applause for Ray!
That's a good one.
All right,
Very
the
nice.
man of the hour is man of the hour. Wow, this is more fun than humans should have, isn't it? Indeed, indeed. I tell you what, let's do this. What's a magician without a deck of cards? I guess a magician without a deck of cards. One like over here, like this. Yeah, a deck of cards like that. We'll work with this one. Looks like a winner to me. So I tell you what, let's do this. We need a, that gentleman's been to Magic Castle, right? You know a thing or two. Would you please come over? Let's give him a nice round of applause. And I'm sorry, I forgot your name again.
Charles.
Charles. Good memory, Charles. Charles, here's what we're going to do. Charles, you're going to have a free selection of a card. So go ahead and select a, oh, you like that one? Okay, you looked at the card, show it to your friends. I guess I'm not one of his friends, but that's okay, I've seen this trick before. So Charles, I'm going to pull some cards off the deck, like this, okay? And what I want you to do is at some point just say stop.
Stop.
Okay, would you put your card right on top? Now you might be wondering, gee Doug, how is it possible to find that card? I mean, they all kind of look alike on the back at least, right?
Sure.
Well, here's the thing. There are these nuances you can do. When you go like this, you get like a bluish tinge on the selected card. Now, it may not be too obvious to you when I do this, but for me, when I go through, I will actually notice some minute differences in the cards. I mean, it's kind of subtle, I know, but you know, I could sort of depict the difference, you know, when I do this, right? You remember your card, right?
Oh, was I supposed to remember it?
Yeah.
You didn't say that.
Well, you remember your King of Diamonds, right?
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll tell you what, let's do this. We'll put it back. But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Charles? What I always do is I always keep a spare King of Diamonds in my pocket, but that's another matter, so we'll put that away. But I tell you what, let's do something entirely different. Tell you, would you do me a favor and just, would you extend your finger? I'm glad he chose that finger. That would be a very different show if he picked a different finger. But I tell
was
you,
raised politely.
you were. Thank you, Charles. And would you just touch the card? There, thank you. Take that card. Take that card. Take the card. All right. Now, we all know that a magician's never supposed to repeat his tricks. That's why I'm a comedian. But we'll try something pretty darn magical, if I may say so myself. Ready for this, Charles?
Okay.
Watch. Show your card. I'm not going to touch it. You pick up that card and show it to our audience. Well done. Yeah, the luckiest day of my life, I think it is.
We'll give it to you.
Indeed, indeed. Indeed. Let's see here. I'll go into maybe a bit of a story now. Let's see if I can find some aces. Here we go. So I was once doing this card trick at a beach resort. And if I can find the rest, I'll be in happier condition. Here we go. I think we're almost there. And so I was, in fact, doing something with the four aces. And as I was getting into this presentation, it was kind of an odd situation in so much as a one-armed gambler happened upon the scene. I kind of ignored him and simply put the aces back in, one by one. And he was watching me do this. And as he was watching me do this, he started to say, hey, I can show you something. Well, I just ignored him, made sure there's no ace on top or anywhere near the bottom. But as I kept putting the aces back in, he kept insisting that, in fact, he could show me something. Well, I was getting a bit impatient with his persistence, and so I gave the cards a cut and said, okay, you want to show me something? Show me something. Now, he's a one-arm gambler, so he only has one arm to deal with. And well, first of all, before he got this far, I made sure there's no ace on top or bottom. He took the deck with that one arm he had, and he gave it this unusual cut. And when he cut the deck, he cut the deck to an ace. I thought, oh, that's pretty amazing. How could that be? So again, making sure there's no ace on top or bottom. I said, do you think you can do it again? He says, I can do it again. So once again, with that one arm he had, he cut the cards again, and again, he cut to an ace. Wow. Yeah. I'm getting really curious about this whole deal, and I said, again, making sure no ace is on top or bottom. I said, can you do it with the cards face up, thinking that would give away the modus operandi? He says, I've never tried it that way, but it could work, so he does it face up. He does it face up, and he cuts again, and he cuts again to an ace. So now I'm really curious. I said, okay, no ace on top or bottom. I said, don't you ever miss? He says, I can't afford to miss. I'm a gambler. So he cuts one more time. He cuts one more time, and this time he cuts to a 7. I said, well, there you go. You're not so perfect after all. He says, no, no. That's my control card. I know where every card is. That's where the next ace is. I said, you've got to be kidding me. He says, no. I challenged him, and here he goes. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there. So I'll put them back in different parts of the deck. This is a funny little thing. And I think you can see they're fairly distributed, right? They're in different parts of the deck. Now, there's a couple ways to shuffle cards. One way is this way. It's actually, believe it or not, called a Hindu shuffle. Or you can do a bit of a weave. Some call it a weave. Some even called it a, believe it or not, a pharaoh shuffle. But as you do this, it's almost like gears and a motor, if it's done right. And they come together in this fashion. Now, the idea is to find those very same 4 aces in a fantastic way. And hopefully, with 1, 2, 3, 4, plus a couple more. Those don't count, but these do. And there it is. 1, 2, oops, 3. Looks like I got 3 out of 4. Sorry. Oh, there's the 4th one. There it was. Thank you. All right. Thank you. I tell you what, let's do this. I'm going to have a different helper. How about, let's see. Would you like to help me out? A big round of applause. I should know your name. It's
Marcy.
Marcy. Good memory, Marcy. Tell you what, Marcy. Boom. Let's do this together. It's kind of like a team effort, if you will, because I've got my cards and you'll have your cards. Now, here's the deal. You've played with cards. You know what cards are like, one from the other. Okay. Yeah, he's been around. She knows. All right. What I want you to do is take your cards. I'll take mine. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix them up a little bit. This is called an overhand shuffle. You can, whatever way you want, just mix up your cards. Oh, she's going fancy on me, huh?
Just blackjack, don't you?
Oh, she's got that other life going on, right? There you go. I can see now. All right. So anyways, you gave it a shuffle, right?
Okay.
So here's the thing. You gave it a shuffle and I gave it a shuffle. Fair enough, right? Now, you cannot look at the top card. Okay. I have no idea what it is, but you shuffled them and I shuffled mine. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to take your top card. Hand me the top card. and I'm going to put it right here. And I want you to put my card into your deck.
Anywhere?
Anywhere. Just push it in anywhere. There you go. And, oops. I think I just did something I wasn't supposed to. No, I did the right thing. I did the right thing. Okay. And give it a cut. Give it a cut. Just make sure. Just like in games, you got to shuffle and cut. Okay, fair enough. You did a cut. And now I'm going to put a card here, and you give me the top card. Thank you. And put my card in your deck, and I'll put yours in mine. Okay. And give it a cut. Okay. Fair enough. And now one more time. This is my card, and I take the top card from you and put it right here. So you put mine in yours and mine. And there it goes.
Got it?
Yeah, we could do that. Mm-hmm. And put your cards right there. And I'm going to put these two to kind of homologate, I guess is the word, them all together. Now, at this point, when we look at this, what we have is my blue cards have 3 of your red cards, right? 1, 2, 3. And in your, that's I think the end of the blue cards right there. Here's my cards. And these are your red cards, which have 1. There it is, 2. And should be a third one here somewhere. Maybe I missed it. Oh, there it is, 3. Yeah, there it is. So there is 3. So that's pretty fair. I mean, you shuffled your cards. Yeah. I shuffled my cards. 3 cards were passed, and I have no idea what you gave to me, and you have no idea what I gave to you. So here's the thing. We have 6 cards as a result of this whole thing. Now, if by chance, say 2 of the cards were to match, I guess I would be like really lucky.
But maybe the rest of them match.
But let's say
All of them match.
2 more matched. If say the next 2 match, it would be an extreme coincidence. But if all 6 were to match, it would be
Amazing.
amazing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we're having fun. Now you've seen me doing the shuffle thing, and there's lots of ways to shuffle, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But first of all, you haven't had a chance to help me out yet. What is your name?
Terry?
Terry, good memory. Terry, I need for you to select a card. You got that one? All right, look at your card. Yeah, look at your card. Doesn't work well if you don't know what your card is. Yeah, sure, why not, why not? So I'm going to go through the cards, Terry, like this, and I want you to say stop. Just say stop.
Stop.
Okay, put your card on top. All right. Now, Terry, you probably have seen people shuffle cards, right? Now, this is, again, what's called an overhand shuffle. You don't see it quite so often nowadays. A more commonly used shuffle, if you go to Vegas or Reno, is a riffle shuffle. Now, in a riffle shuffle, it looks something closer to this, where you riffle the ends together. Have you seen that before in casinos? Yeah, that's a bit more familiar, right? Well, I was with somebody once who said, I'm going to do it my way. I said, well, what's your way? He says, turn your head away. Well, I turned my head away, and guess what? While my head was turned away, he did the darndest thing. He took half the cards face up and half the cards face down. And believe it or not, he actually shuffled them together, half face up, half face down. And the result was kind of a mess, is what it is. I mean, it's all mixed up. And I thought, this is crazy. I mean, you know, what to do, right? And so I turned my head back and I said, what did you do? He says, well, I mixed them up. And I looked at them and said, sure enough, you did mix them up. I mean, we've got face-up cards, we've got some face-down cards, we've got some back-to-back cards. Yeah, you mixed them up for sure. So how did I get out of the predicament? I used magic. A wave and a snap. That's what did the magic. Because watch. Because now, all the cards are facing one direction. Except for one. And that one card facing the wrong way is, what is your card?
It's a 6 of spades.
And it is the 6 of spades. And it's Terry, right? Terry, I'm going to propose one more card trick. We'll put that away right now. But I tell you what, do this. I need for you, would you take your card, and I think I brought along, I thought I brought a, gosh, where did I put my, oh, I know where I put it. I have this tendency to put things in the wrong place, but I put it right here. This is my, my magic marker, a little bit on the short side. I left it in a wash. So would you do me a favor? Would you do me a favor? Would you take this and just put your signature across the face of it right there? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, put your signature across the face and then add your credit card information. Make sure you've got the expiration date and the CVV code. We need all the information. You know, I need all that kind of stuff, right? You got all the information on there?
Want more of it?
You can do whatever you want. It's your show. Okay.
It's a made-up one. But
She's going to make up stuff. She's going to town because she's having fun. There you go. Excellent.
okay.
All right, I get the pen back. Thank you very much. All right, I'll put this away. Now, I think you had a pretty fair choice when you got that 6 of spades. You know, I was playing fair. You know, could have been almost any one of these cards, right? But the 6 of spades, somehow that meant something too, I think. And that's actually a wise choice. I probably would have chosen 6 of spades myself. Would you do me a favor, Terry, and would you put your card on top?
This way?
That way. That's right. That's right. That's right. There's her card, her signature, her artwork, right? All right. Now, a frequently asked question is, how do you do it? A lot of people want to know these things. You know, they want to know the secrets. They know that there's some sort of like move I do. You might have thought during that little shuffle I did the move, I bet. I see the curiosity on your, yeah, it could have happened, but no, I see your card's nowhere near the bottom, and it's not on top. It's not even second to the top. Do you know why? I didn't do the move yet. You ready for the move?
Okay.
I go like this, and like that. That's the move. See, that's the move that brings your card back on top. See, that's how this works. But you may not have been ready for the move. So let's do this. Since you weren't ready, let's put it back. And again, what I do is this and a snap. This and a snap. That's the move. See, it brings your card back on top again. See, that's how it works. Yeah. Now you might be thinking, well, what would happen, Doug, if I put it back and say, for example, I just do part of the move. I just do this without the snap. This without the snap, it won't work. No, it didn't go on top. See, it didn't go on top. It didn't go second to the top. It didn't happen yet because, as you well know, the move has two parts to it, right? It's this and a snap. This and a snap. See, that's what brings back up the top. That's how it works. See, that's how it works. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it's like a machine. It's like a machine. All I have to do is press on the machine. Watch this. And it goes back on top again. Tell you what, Terry, would you do me a favor? Lift off half the cards. Lift off half the cards.
Is that half?
About. That's close enough. Put them back on top. Now you take the cards. Give a snap. Good snap. Turn over the top card. Turn over the top card. And now she's a magician too. See that? She did it too.
That was good.
Isn't this crazy?
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you weren't ready for so much fun tonight, were you?
We want to know that trick.
Oh, yeah. I do too, actually. But let's do this. Well, there's your card, but let's go a little farther so you can see the artwork. Okay, there's the artwork. Now, Terry, let's do this. We're going to bury this card in here. Do me a favor and push it in all the way.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's a little crazy, isn't it? But you know what? You've seen the result of the move. You know, I do this in a snap and then something happens. But because you're such a cooperative person, I really like the fact that you've been such a sport about this whole thing. What I'm going to do is, I don't always do this, I'm going to do the savage crimp. So the savage crimp is where you do this. And by doing the savage crimp like that, you'll know immediately when your card returns. Because when you see this again, you know it's back.
Right.
Okay? So watch it go like this. Ready? Right there. And there it is.
That was really good.
Yeah. But now you may recall in the very beginning, we put a little box there. Remember I put a little box there in the very beginning?
That box there?
That box there. Remember I put the little box there?
Okay.
There's a reason why I put that little box there. You see, this little box has my favorite card in there, okay? It's got my favorite card in there. Hold your hand out, hold your hand out. See, in my box is my favorite card. It turns out my favorite card is your favorite card. I just haven't figured out how you put your signature on my favorite card. That's the part I haven't figured out.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Where's the other bed? No, just kidding.
It's just that. It's just that, yeah.
That's your souvenir.
That is your souvenir. That is your souvenir. Now we're going to do what is oftentimes referred to as perhaps the oldest trick in magic. And this is my grand finale. So first of all, thank you again for being my audience. Thank you to Ray for being my advisor to help me do this all the time now, or much. But no, it's really, that's what it's about, really, is living life as you wish. And here we are. This is it. This is at least part of my life. And in part of my life, I go back to what was probably an influential trick on me, because when I was 17 years old, I took a course in magic. And my first magic teacher is still a friend to this day. And I distinctly remember that time when he showed this to me. And I had never even heard of this trick before, but it is in fact one of the oldest. It is a trick involving, of course, a wand and some other objects here. These, let's see, 1, 2, 3, oops, cups that can go through each other. It's kind of an odd thing. Even this one can go kind of like through this one. Would you check that one out? Make sure that's a solid cup. Go ahead, check it out. Ooh, don't break it, but it's a good solid cup, right? You know, the crazy thing about my cup is that the inside of the cup is deeper than the outside of the cup. Now, how can that make any sense, right? But it's sort of that way. Let me see your cup a second. Yeah, I think it is that way with yours. See, the inside of the cup is deeper than the outside of the cup, which, again, doesn't make any sense to me either. But what this is not a trick of 3 cups. No, this is not a trick of 3 cups. What this is a trick of the cups and the balls. Now, watch carefully. I'll take the wand and wrap the back of my hand. 2 things will occur. First of all, a welt will appear in the back of my hand. Second is, the ball disappears. Now, I will do this again, even though nobody asked me to do this again. A simple wave of the wand, and like cheap margarine on a hot summer day, the second one vanishes too. Now, for the third, it'll be a little bit different, because this time I just snap my fingers and, I'm sorry, I forgot. I didn't wave the wand. If I wave the wand, then the third one disappears too. So they're all disappeared. Now the question isn't how they disappeared, but rather where they disappeared to. For they went back to where they started, under the cups. This one is an unusual cup as well, because it has kind of a shutter that opens and closes at the same time. I'm not sure how that works, but it does explain something. It explains how possibly this ball could go through that cup and join the other ball. And it also explains how with this ball, when I put it here, it goes through that same shutter. I just go like that, wait about, 4 or 5 seconds, and shazam, like that, all 3 balls come together. But let's make this a little bit simpler. Let's simplify things with just 1, 2, 3 cups, and 1, 2, 3 balls. Couldn't get any simpler than that. Oh, actually, it can get simpler than that. Because, tell you what, let's do this. What we can do is take that one and put that one away, and then I think, yeah, we can remove this one as well. But we need at least 1 ball, so let's keep that one there. But if I snap my fingers, this one comes back. Yeah, how can that be? Well, let's put it away. If I give another snap, that one comes back. Okay, a little bit unusual. But let's do this. Let's put this one away, and now all 3 come together here in the middle. But I tell you what, let's do this. Rick, you've been watching me like a hawk. See this? I take all 3, put them away. Right? Now, you've been watching me. I've got cup number, let's see, number 2, number 1. Let's see, I've got cup number 3, 1, 2, 3. Would it be a big surprise if I could get all 3 of those balls to come back to cup number 1? Would that be a big surprise to you?
Yes.
It would be a big surprise. And I'm sorry, your name again is? Faye. Would it be a big surprise if all 3 came to cup number 3? She's a little hesitant on that one. She's a little bit guarded her. And it's Jan. Would it be a big surprise if they all came to number 2? Would that be a big surprise to you? Tell you what, he is on it. I can't get anything past Steve. You know, he's trying to fake us out with that kind of can't see things too well, but he can see things pretty well enough, because you're right. How about if we make a big surprise, a bigger surprise, and have him come to all 3 cups? Wouldn't that be a big surprise, Steve? Yes. I think that would be a big surprise. So let's bring them all back to 1, 2, 3. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what got me into magic, the cups and the balls. So thank you for being my audience. Thank you for Ray helping me with my next career. And I wish all of you a lot of fun tonight. The bar is still open, so thank you.